And hello there folks, me RGB from RJBTV, and today we're going to be looking at Cong going up against Byul. This is going to be what in my opinion is one of the most tricky players. Cong has all sorts of tricks up his sleeves, always tries to cheese and pull tricks that you're not expecting, tries to mind game you, throw you off your game, always tries to throw something unexpected towards you. That's the kind of player Cong is, and he's up against Byul, who is a former professional player, played in 2 ASL seasons. Yes, 2 ASL seasons, which more or less puts him at the top of the professional section of the StarCraft community. And he is here on the white-pink Terran, and Cong is on the pale-blue Protoss. So Protoss against Terran. Byul playing on his main race, and I think Cong is playing on his main race as well. And I'm kind of curious to see what kind of tricks Cong is going to throw at Byul this game. He's always throwing tricks out that you're sometimes expecting, because sometimes you've seen his tricks before. Oftentimes they do kind of return back to Dark Templar build orders, but this time around it might not be Dark Templars at all, it might just be something completely different. I really don't know. It's hard to tell with Cong. He always has those tricks prepared, and oftentimes you don't know what he's going to do. He's going to go for a Nexus first though. That's one thing that I do know, because he's saving up minerals, and that can only mean one single thing, and that is he's going to go for a Nexus. Which might also mean that he might not actually be planning on going for something that is very tricky. Like, I did name this video beforehand the tricker, or the tricky guy against the fundamentals, the tricks against fundamentals, and I might have been wrong with that. Maybe there's not going to be any tricks at all. It's just, I know he does tricks a lot. There's a high chance he's going to do tricks. High chance he's going to do tricky, cheesy moves. And triple gateway after the Nexus, he scouts Byul's base. Oh, wait, did he see that? Yes, he saw that. Okay, he saw that. Like, there are sometimes games where you pull the probe back a little bit too early and you do not see the buildings being made, and you miss the scout, and then you're finished scouting the entire map and you're like, hey, where's this guy at? Well, he's right next to you. You just missed him. So we got a very fast gas and supply depot into a barracks into double factory. A build order Byul is very, very good at. And a build order I think is actually pretty good against what Cong is doing here. I think it's pretty good against what Cong is doing here. And Cong, the good thing about going for a mech build order on a 12 or 6 spawn location is that the Protoss can build a pylon here to block access to the gas. If you're on one of these vertical gas spawn locations, you can put a pylon right here and block the gas and force the Terran to either kill the pylon or build a second refinery to continue mining gas. On this spawn location, that's not possible. He's mining with 2 SCVs, so pulled one off after finishing having enough gas for 2 factories. Going for double Vulture, we got a Zealot there joining in on the party. 3 more Zealots on the way, very fast Cybercore and Forge on the way there back home to probably go for Dragoons and maybe a Robotics for Observers, and get cannons here as well to protect those probes. Double Gaster at the back, not producing from the Nexus in the back there. We got the Zealot there hunting for some SCVs, but I don't think he got a single one. Maybe he got one actually. Might actually have killed 1 SCV. More Zealots are in the base. There's one hiding on the top bottom corner, waiting for an opportunity to go and hit some SCVs. He's just trying to disrupt and distract. Just doing any damage at all is the goal. Hopefully kill some SCVs, and when these units leave the base, that's when this Zealot is going to move in and attack the SCVs while everything is gone. So builds a wall, starts scanning the map with the Vultures. He still does not know where Cong is on the map. Cong is getting a very fast Robotics, getting Dragoons as well, getting Singularity Charge. So yes, this is going to be Dragoons and Observers. Very quick Dragoons and Observers. Arrives at the choke. Nope, he's going to walk right in. Ooh, kills 1 Marine. Great shot there. There's only 3 Marines in the bunker. That's better than 4. Gets the SCV as well. Gets into the base. And there's literally nothing in the base that... Okay, a tank spawns. 1 tank, 2 tanks spawn. Okay, so something is in the base to help him defend against Dragoons just on time. It arrived just on time. cannon there in the back. Got 2 more KOs on the way for a total of 5. Dragoon range is almost finished up. 1 Dragoon went down. He's trying to kill the tank. Gets the tank, but costs him all of his Dragoons. Does a little bit more damage on this one last remaining tank, but it's going to get repaired by the SCV. So the tank is going to be perfectly fine. We've got siege mode finished or not finished. I don't know. Did he get siege mode or did he skip on siege mode? I sincerely do not know. We do have mines. So that confirms that the Dragoons cannot really march forward. The tank has more range than Dragoons, but he goes in a little bit too far. Takes a lot of damage on the tank. He could have killed it if he wanted to. I think he could have killed it if he wanted to, but he decides against it because there's a mine there, and maybe losing all the Dragoons to the mine is more dangerous and a bigger loss, and killing the tank is an advantage to him. He's waiting there in the front. We've got a shuttle on the way. Observatory finished up, getting shuttle speed. Getting zealots now. There's no Citadel of Doom, so no speed. Goes in, attacks, tries to kill the tank, but can't quite do it. Loses 2 Dragoons trying to kill the tank. And it was a close call, but the tanks all do stay alive, and one SCV is still repairing. Got barracks there going up in the sky to get vision on the high ground. This engineering base is going to do the exact same here. We have no turrets yet. We have Academy on the way. Byul is going to get supply blocked maybe for a short little while. Yeah, he's going to get supply blocked for a little while. This command center is not yet finished up, and we're going to be hitting 60. So that's going to be like 10 seconds of supply block. Nothing to be too concerned about, but it's going to slow him down a little bit. Vulture's running by, going to try to get some damage in the base, or maybe just place some mines and be annoying. Shuttle there finished up. Gonna put zealots into the base. There's nothing in the back. Everything is right here in the front. So this is gonna be a problem. And I expect that when the zealots land in the base and he goes back to pick up the Reaver, that all of this in the front is gonna have to move back. Everything is moving back. This is when the tricky part of Kong's playstyle starts. It cancels the turret. That's big. That's huge. We have an observer on the way. Reaver's finished up there in the back. Tanks do kill the zealots. The tanks are now on lower HP than even before. Like, they're all below half. This one is below a third. Below a fourth, almost. Reaver comes in. Got a Goliath there. Shuttle finished up. Finds a pathway right in between. Almost the Reaver shoots on the SCV. The Scarab is not gonna connect, or is it gonna connect? It goes a long way, kills 1 SCV, so it connects, but it kills nothing of importance. You go on the high ground to make sure that turrets don't get built on the side. The tanks have to stay in the back. They cannot really move to the side to kill the Dragoon, because he's still within danger of getting attacked very soon. He's playing it very, very safe. He has to keep everything in the back, which does open up the front door. And I think he's now going to try to break through the front, because we do have a lot of Dragoons and an observer, which means the front door is ready for the taking. He's not building a shuttle at the moment. So yeah, the shuttle was purely to draw units from the front to the back to open up the front, which goes to show that Cong has a lot of mind games going on. He's making Byul think that more drops are coming, because he has Dragoons on the high ground killing turrets. He had shuttles earlier, but it's actually a frontal attack. Here he comes, breaking through the front door. There's really nothing here to defend. Units from the back come to the front, but it's too late because he's broken through. There's literally nothing here to really keep these units out. There was no wall. There was only a bunker. There were 2 mines. There was a turret. There's literally nothing to keep this out. So he marches forward, and he's killing everything that he can. There's a lot of tanks in the back there, though. But the zealots get on top of the tanks. 2 tanks go down. You have about 12 Dragoons in the base in total, maybe even more. 13 actually in the base, killing the starport, killing supply depots that are outside of tank range. Has to relocate the tanks before he gets supply blocked. Okay, I think that got cancelled. Maybe it got killed. That starport got killed. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. 2 more tanks spawn, but they're too damn far away from this. The tanks are really too damn far away, but they can't really relocate that easily. This one's relocating, but that one's at danger. Like, you can hit this tank without these tanks in the back being able to hit the Dragoons. So this is already really far out in the front. More zealots coming across the map, getting on top of the tanks in the back. So there's literally nothing here to protect. Cong absolutely outsmarted Byul. Byul was really going all in on the anti-shuttle backside defense, and Cong was like, I got you, bro. I got you. I got you exactly where I want you to be. And now I'm gonna end it. And he did. He ended it within the blink of an eye. So that was a pretty cute misdirection strategy from Cong. goes for the frontal attack with Dragoons to pull pressure towards the front, then goes for the very fast robotics with a shuttle and a reaver, and then an observer. And the shuttle and the reaver put Byul into a state of mind where he's expecting more shuttle drops, because that is what most players do. And when Cong confirmed that Byul was holding most of his units in the back by having the Dragoon on the high ground killing turrets, which raises the suspicion and the idea even more that more drops are coming. Otherwise, you wouldn't really be killing those turrets. And then Cong goes for the frontal attack. It's very smart stuff. I'd say it's very detailed stuff, and I really think Cong is one of the best early game players because he has all those smart kinds of setups that he's able to properly pull off. He has a lot of attention to detail and micro. He knows exactly what's going on in your mind. So you cannot beat Cong in the mind games. You have to beat him with your fundamentals, your skills, your pure fundamental skills. And I do think Byul has those fundamental skills. And I do hope that in this second game, he is going to be able to properly display all of those skills that I mentioned and survive the trickiness that Cong has in his playstyle. It's a very tricky playstyle. And I do think that when you survive the first 10 to 15 minutes against Cong, that the chances and the odds of you winning go up really, really quickly. Because I do not think he has a very strong late game. Because then the tricks he's using stop being that effective. They stop being that effective. Because the margin for error for Terran gets bigger and bigger. The earlier the game is, the margin for error for a Terran is very small. Because a Protoss progresses economically very quickly. So anything you lose, and any advantage the Protoss gets, you're probably going to fall behind a little bit too much to recover from. But in the late game, Terran is very cost efficient. So once you have the economy and the base and the production and the units, you can make a lot of mistakes and survive. So we got a barracks first there from Byul, and let me look at the other side of the map. We have 2 gateways and a nexus there from Cong. Looks pretty standard. This is a very standard opening from Cong. Very standard opening. You get the 2 gateways because you're on the middle spawn. Because the middle spawn has a shorter distance to attack towards the enemy. It just takes a lot less traveling time compared to a corner spawn. But it's also because the opposite counts. The enemy has less traveling time towards you. So if the enemy goes, for example, an 8 barracks and decides to go for an early Marine Scout or Marine Rush, if you go for Nexus Forge on the middle spawn and you try to get your cannons up in the front, there is a realistic chance that you will die to Marines and SCVs before the cannons finish. And then all you have to defend are probes. That's also a reason why you often see this double gateway nexus on middle spawn locations. It's because you can rush with double gateway, but you can also protect yourself with double gateway against those Terran rushes that you otherwise cannot protect yourself against. So bunker there in the front from Byul, gonna build a wall with triple supply depot there in the front. And the Zealots are like, oh, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna walk right in. Like, how many Marines? 3 Marines, 4 Zealots do not give a damn. So he's now putting the pressure up on Byul. And this is the kind of pressure he would not be able to put onto Byul if he had gone for a Nexus first. Now, is this pressure going to be worth it? He's killing some Marines. He's getting maybe an SCV kill as well. Yeah, I'd say this is already worth it. This is already worth it. Gets an SCV kill, gets 2, maybe 3, 4 maybe? No, I think he got 3 of them. So 3 SCV kills, that's pretty good. And about 4 Marine kills, that's even better. That definitely paid for itself. But very soon we'll have a wall here in the front. We've got more cells coming across the map, and they might try to walk through yet again. He might try to walk through again. But Byul beats him to the punch, and those hold position Zealots take some damage from the Marines, and that might discourage him from trying to walk through. So we have a very fast support bay and Citadel of Doom, and more gateways coming out as well. This is kind of unusual because usually you first get the cannons in the choke, and then you get the Robo and the Citadel of Doom. But Byul is, Cong is relying on these zealots to keep Byul away. He also saw that Byul went for Command Center first. And a Command Center first actually means that the Terran has less Marines to attack with. He also killed a nice amount of Marines, which means that he can delay the cannons in the front, because there's a smaller chance of getting counterattacked by something that can actually hurt him. That's why he delayed the cannon by so much and why it's only one single cannon. It's all because Byul went for Command Center first. If he had not gone for Command Center first, but for Barracks first, into an academy, he would have had to cannon up much earlier and maybe get even 3 or 4 cannons in total, because Byul would have some real stim medic counter-attack potential with Marine medic, which he doesn't have right now. And he's going for a very fast triple starport. Very fast triple starport is the ultimate counter to shuttles. The ultimate counter to shuttles. And if you can scan consistently with double comsat, there's literally nothing in the Protoss space that is going to escape your watchful eye. Now, the robos are in the back, so Byul might scan the front first, because that's usually where the robos are located, which might throw him off a little bit, but I do think the second scan is going to be here in the back, where he will see the double robo. He's not getting a... Okay, there's a control tower. He's either going to get cloak or a dropship. He scans, so there's the first scan, and he scans the front, but he does see the shuttle and the support bay. So that does give him the information he needs to deduce that, oh, my rates are going to be very useful. My rates are going to be highly useful. There's 2 Reavers inside that shuttle. He's trying to find the shuttle, but can't quite find it yet. So he's going to pull back those rates and wait for the shuttle to arrive and show itself. And then he's going to move in, kill the shuttle, and hopefully kill the Reavers as well. The Reavers showed themselves, settled, they're coming in for the attack, but the rates are in the sky, and they're going to take down that shuttle very quickly, which keeps the Reavers grounded. Although the Zealot on top of the tanks, this is the one danger you do take, the one risk you do take when you have to go for this raid defense. You can very easily kill the shuttle, but the Zealots become a problem because raids don't do much damage against Zealots. And he also lifted up his barracks really early. They're already on the high ground there, gets to the backside, but the Zealots don't wind up really doing that much once they reach the backside, because there's a bunk with 3 Marines, and the raids, even though the damage is low, over time they just do enough damage to kill something. They will kill something, whether it's a lot of damage or not much. So they do have their usefulness. And he rebuilds that wall, and we're gonna have Dragoons in the mix now, because Dragoons are a counter to the raids, and that is why Byul is now getting Cloak, because he knows that Cong will go for Dragoons, which of course then means I need Cloak, and with Cloak, the Dragoons ain't gonna do anything at all. Reaver unloads, shoots on the tank at the back, Reaver goes down to target fire to the 2 tanks, and he's gonna break through yet again, but the raids in the sky this time around are like 7 of them. Oh, it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be very close. Actually, I think if Kong's macro was just a little bit more solid, and if he had maybe an observer on the scene, boy, there's an observer. The turret is still alive, that's a problem. The turret is still alive. He needs to kill the turret with Dragoons in order to bring in this observer. He's rebuilding the wall, gets the wall rebuilt just on time, which means that now the raids come in and they scan the observer, take it down. The raids are running out of energy though, so tank arrives just on time. This is all very, very close gameplay. This is very close gameplay. Both players are tuned into each other. And this time around, Cong is not pulling any tricks whatsoever. Cong is playing purely by the book, by the manual. And he's playing very smart. Every single move that Gomdor makes, he has a response for it. But Gomdor, Byul, has a response for every single thing that Cong is doing as well. So both players are playing a very smart game. A very detailed and smart game that you will rarely ever see at this level. Very smart stuff. Cong has a very good grasp of all of the things that Byul has to do to defeat Kong's strategy. So Cong keeps trying to be a little bit faster than Byul and keeps trying to prepare for whatever he is expecting Byul to counter his build order with. Goes in for another frontal attack. Observer in the sky. Raids take down the shuttle before the Reaver unloads. That's pretty big. That's pretty big because that Reaver on the ground might have just taken down those bunkers much more easily. But as the bunkers stay alive for longer, the Dragoons can't break through either. And that is a deal breaker. He's going to build a couple more Marines because he needs to fill up those bunkers. That's very smart. So pulls the Marine or the barracks from the high ground, puts it down, builds some Marines, get the bunkers filled up, and fortify the front, which should make it easier to defend with the raids and the tanks, even though the tanks are very small in number. We do have 5 factories now, and 3 more on the way for a total of 8. Another full attack that's happening. I would like to see a drop happening at the same time. Like, Byul is playing this very well, but he's not well protected against shuttle drops. And Cong apparently is not going for the tricky double drop or double attack setups at the moment. He's purely focusing on the front door. He believes he can break through the front door and overpower Byul, but that apparently simply isn't working. Got a tank on the high ground, 2 of them in fact on the high ground, racing in the front, damaging whatever they can. We have 2 observers on the scene. We have, I'd say, about 12, 13 gateways in the base there for Cong. He's still not making shuttles at the moment. He has a drop there prepared here, but no Reavers, no High Templars, no Templars Archive even. So all he can do is go for Reaver drops. I would have liked for Cong to go for a frontal attack, pull the raids to the front, and go for a drop over the top corner at the same time. But he hasn't gone for that yet. He really is focused on trying to break the front. And he broke the front a couple of times, but then had nothing left to use that broken front door to his advantage. Great unload down the high ground, unloads behind the wall as well, but one shuttle goes down without really unloading anything, and that does not go as he had planned. That does not go as he had in mind. But the attempts are good. But Byul has 91 SCVs, and he's got 3 more gas to fill out, 1 more command center coming down. He's still on triple starboard. 11 raids, a couple more on the way, and we have 10, 13 factories. He's looking strong. He's got 4 armories, level 1 finish for ground and air. Upgrades are looking very solid, whereas Cong is on 001, getting 1 armor, getting 1 air armor, going for more drops now. He's mixing the drops and the shuttle play back in. No longer going to go for the frontal attacks. He's cleaning out those sides. And cleaning out the sides just more or less signal in to Byul that Cong now wants to focus on drops. Comes in, unloads on the high ground. Tank sieging up. Dragoons move to the top corner. Going to try to hit those turrets behind the wall. Great snipe on Observer. Snipes the probe. On the hunt for the shuttles. Shuttles are moved to the canister in the front. Dragoons at the bottom have cleared out the skies. And he arrives at his choke. There's only 1 cannon. We do have a lot of Dragoons here, but yeah, he's just going to take down those shuttles and lose a couple raids, but that's okay. He doesn't care as long as he kills the shuttles. And that probe in the front going to go down as well. Or he ignores it. That's also possible. He just ignores it. You cannot do everything everywhere all at once. You got to prioritize, and sometimes just ignoring something like this is okay. So scans coming down yet again. He scanned for the Observer. Kills the Observer. Dragoons have to retreat yet again. Raids on the hunt. The raids have paid for themselves like 10 times over. The raids have been extremely cost efficient and effective. They stopped shuttle drops. They stopped attacks. Killed gateway units. They've hunted down shuttles in the main base of Cong. They've really paid for themselves 10 times over. And we might see a switch into maybe carries at some point, getting more forges. He's got level 1, and no shields. He got level 2, almost on everything for Byul. He's really shooting ahead right now. The command center opening has paid off. He's managed to survive without taking too much damage. He was almost gonna die like 2 or 3 times at about the 5 to 7 minute mark. Was a close call here and there, but He's managed to survive, and he is looking strong. And Cong has been focusing on mostly attacking and less on building a big base. It's really not much. You got 8, 10, 12 gateways, and 3 stargates, 4 robos. He can win the game with that, but it's really not that much. There's a fleet beacon on the middle, but Byul is pushing into the middle. Unloading some zealots on top of the tanks. Corsairs in the back, maybe hunting for the raids. Distracting there, pulling attention away. The raids look to be dead and gone. I don't see any raids anywhere at all. They're in the back, actually. They're hanging in the back. So he is expecting drops from Cong. But Cong is still not going for the shuttle drops. He does not believe. He really just wants to break to the front. But this time around, Cong has simplified his playstyle much more. It was very smart for the first 8 to 9 minutes. It was very smart play. It was really a back and forth of throwing a problem up for the opponent to solve, and then the opponent solves it with a nice solution, and he was like, well, I got something to break down your response. It's like a conversation, a back and forth. But it's now turned into a much more simplistic game. Because I think Cong is feeling the pressure of Byul being perhaps a little bit too big to kill, too big to handle. He's become too big to fail, too big to hold back. Because he's rich, he's very rich. 91 SCVs, 10,000 minerals, and almost on 3-3 upgrades. He might wait for 3-3, or he might move out right now because he's maxed out. Like, there's 2 options. Wait for 3-3, or just move out right now. The upgrades are in his favor. We got gateways coming up in the middle. I really don't like the fleet beacon on the middle. It makes no sense. Scans coming on everywhere. You scanned the base. It's really not much. Cong really does not like building. He did add on 3 more gateways though, so I gotta give him credit for that one. 3 more gateways, but there's not much here. He's building on the middle. He's making units largely. The problem with only having like we had 12 earlier, so we got 15 gateways. With 15 gateways, you cannot produce that many units all at once. So okay, he's trying to get the shuttles. Oh, wait. Cong gives up. I don't like that. I don't like that. Cong just gives up. I mean, I do like the very detailed back and forth we had in the first 9 minutes. It was very good level play, very good detailed play, very good control, smart moves from both players. I liked all of the responses they had to each other. A very technical game. And then Cong gave up. Like, seemingly he gave up at around 12 minutes when he simplified his playstyle by a lot. And that makes me believe that Cong just really does not like going for late game. He really just wants to end the game on like before 15 minutes, and if it doesn't go his way and we go beyond 15 minutes, he simplifies his play and just kind of rides out the game, and then he leaves. Or he wins by chance. Like, there's still a chance he wins, but this time around, he does not believe. And I'm a little disappointed. I'm very disappointed that Cong gives up like that. But that's a part of StarCraft as well. He just does not believe. And just let me analyze why. Because he had 1-1-1 on his ground, maybe 2-1-1 against almost 3-3 tanks, and the raids were once again hunting down his shuttles. He had Dragoons and some raids, but these, Dragoons and Templars and Corsairs, but these raids would have killed the shuttles for sure, and that means once again, no shuttle drops from Cong, and he really has to get those drops in on that SCV count. But even if he kills the SCVs at this point, 16,000 minerals means that Byul can continue the game on like 40 to 60 SCVs and have 30 more army supply space. That's a lot. That's not something that Cong can just overcome, because a Terran with better upgrades and a bigger army than you, they're just gonna win. So I do get why he left. I don't like why he left. I would have liked to see him fight to the bitter end. But Cong is a pragmatic person. He's just like, oh well, it's over for me. I'll just surrender and move on. And sometimes that is a wise choice. Thank you for watching. It was RGB for RJB TV with Cong against Byul. Very good first game. Very good first 12 minutes of game number 2. Hope to see you return next time around when we will have whoever I want to cast, because I really don't know. I just want to cast good games. See you soon.